Good morning, grade one. It's so nice to be back teaching you again. Today is Wednesday, April 15th, 2020, 4-15-20. Can you believe it? We're halfway through the month of April. I know it's crazy. I did something a little bit different on the board today, and I thought it might help you and the other students in the class. And that is, I wrote the assignments that you have today or things to work on the board, kind of like I would if we would have had our assignment books. And I did them in the color that goes on the top bar of each assignment book. So maybe you might want to get out your assignment book and write in what your assignments are for today. And then when you get them done, check them off the list. And that might be helpful to you, okay? I know that I have the calendar there, but that doesn't always include every single thing I want you to think about and work on. So this might be a way to help you out. So the first thing that you would write in the religion box would be God's people in exile. And that's something that you want to read today with your family. If you have an older brother or sister, you can certainly read it with them or read it with mom and dad. Or if you're the oldest one, you can read it to your brothers and sisters, okay? And think about how God's people were going to be taken into exile, both the from Israel and then also from the country of Judah, okay? In reading, you could write that you have an epic book to read. Okay, you have one book to read about the Wright brothers. Remember, as soon as you read it, take your AR test on it. So if you're forgetting to take your AR test, write that in your assignment book and circle it up so that you remember to take your AR test right away as soon as you read it. That's how I'm grading you on that part of reading, is by the score you get on AR, okay? For first graders, you have Word Workbook page 58 and your backpack page 28. And then Mrs. Strand will be contacting you with more information about writing and other things she might want you to do for SuperKids reading as well, okay? The epic book, that really is going along more with science and social studies things, okay? It is part of reading as well because you're reading a book, obviously, but it's going along with your science and social studies, okay? For math, which we'll talk about in just a moment here, we're doing lesson 118, and we're going to talk about graphing our vegetables that we cut into pieces a week ago, last Wednesday. Isn't that crazy? And how we would make observations, how you could write a sentence about what you observe or what you see on the graph. By the way, happy Banana Day! Oh, that's kind of crazy, huh? So maybe have a banana, or ooh, how about take a banana and make a smoothie? That would be great. Even better, a banana sundae or a banana split, right? Oh, that would be delicious. Keep working on your nursing home letters, 2 letters to write this week, and send them to the nursing home people. Remember, you can fit up to 4 papers in each envelope. So if you want to do more, you certainly can. And then be practicing your spelling words and your memory treasures. Tomorrow you have 2 memory treasures to tell me, so be practicing them. And then remember, we have a hymn on Friday, so be practicing that as well. In the devotion that I gave this morning, I sang the hymn again with you. I think it's one you know pretty well, so just review it so that you can do it well. And then tomorrow you'll take a spelling test on your spelling words from, let's see, we're on Unit 12, right? Unit 12, week 1 that we're continuing here. So the same set of words. All right. So now it's time for some math. If you'd like to go and get your math binder, it might be helpful because one of the questions that you have on side A is writing an observation on our class graph. And remember, I said I couldn't really make an official class graph, but I was going to make a pretend one. So if you'd like to pause the video and go and get your math binder and a pencil so that you can look along on your page and write in an answer there on side A, that would be great. All right, so you go ahead and pause it. I'm going to cut to my other screen. Okay, so I made a pretend graph of foods we like. Now this graph is different in one way in that it's not a favorites. So from this graph, we can't tell how many people voted. For example, I like cucumbers and celery and carrots and green beans and tomatoes. Mushrooms aren't my favorite, so I'd have to say I don't like mushrooms, okay? I will eat them, but they aren't my favorite to eat. So I would have put, if I were making this graph, I would have put or colored in a square in each one of these except for mushrooms. Maybe you would have colored in a square in every single spot, okay? And so we can't tell exactly how many people voted. But of all the vegetables that we have, what can we tell? There are so many different observations we can make about this graph. Well, first of all, we can tell how many different vegetables we tried. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's an observation, and I'm just going to write that here. Please don't write yet, okay? You choose one when we're all finished. We tried 6 different, and I'm gonna have to come, whoops. I'm writing with a pen, so I can't erase vegetables. And I guess instead of foods we like, I should have put vegetables we like. Although, guess what? That tomato, he's a fruit. Oh, that guy. So maybe foods is the best one. So we tried 6 different vegetables. What's something else you can observe about this graph? I can't hear what you're saying, but I bet one of you might have thought cucumbers had the most votes. That's an observation we could make. Cucumber had the most votes. So that's another observation that we could make. Anything else? Do you see any of the foods that tied? I do. Celery, green beans, and tomatoes all tied. Celery, green beans, and tomato all had 3 votes. There's an observation that you could make. Let's do one more. Let's compare something. Let's compare cucumber and carrots. How many more votes did cucumber get than carrots? And so we could write that as an observation. Cucumber had, and remember how we do that? Match, match, extra, extra. So it had 2 extra. Cucumber had 2 more votes than carrots. Okay, so that's making observations, things that we can look at, observations, and tell or know by looking at our graph. Remember, we can't know how many people voted. This one isn't that kind of a graph, but look at all the different ideas we have for observations we could make. Do you like one of these observations? Maybe one of these is one you thought of yourself while we were working. If you do, pause the video and you could write that observation on your math page on side A. Notice that we still start with a capital letter. We're writing a sentence and we end with a period, okay? On side B, they give you a different graph to look at. They made a graph, and you have to make observations about the graph they show you on that page on side B. So this is for side A. On side B, it's a little bit different, okay? All right. That wasn't so bad, was it? Alrighty, so there you go. That's how you make an observation about a graph. You look at the data that it is given to you, and you think about what can you tell? What do you know by looking at that graph? Alrighty. Well, I wish you God's blessings on your Banana Day. Remember, it's Wednesday, April 15th, 2020. Always do your best work. Do your next handwriting page if you would. Remember to read For Religion, God's People in Exile. Remember to read your epic book and take the AR test on it right away. Your SuperKids work, do all the things that Mrs. Strand asks you to do. Math, lesson 118. The only thing that I need a picture of today is side B of lesson 118, okay? Enjoy Banana Day. Work on those nursing home letters and practicing your spelling words and your memory treasures so that you're all set for your work tomorrow as well. Have a great day. Oh, also, just a reminder, we are halfway through the month of April, okay? So you do want to be reading other things besides the things that I assign you on Epic, but those will help you get your AR goal as well. If you have books that you read in the past on Epic and you did not take a test on them, I encourage you go back and read the book again and then take a test on it. Don't try to remember, okay? It doesn't give you as good of a score. And remember, we want to get that 100% accuracy each month, okay? All right, there we go. Have a great day. I'll see you soon. Oh, there's our graph again. Now I'll say goodbye.